Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, start.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Start, Swamiji.
Start? Yes, you can start.
Chapter number 6, before the end of the chapter, behold, cried the Swamiji, he is kicking at you. I cannot bear the sight. I consider it as nothing short of a sacrilege. And the scene was daily happening to all of us every day. How we can react to others' situation of the experiment to the Swamiji. Papa's reaction was, Papa saw Ram in everybody, and that Sadhu was found to be in Ram. How we should react in such situations.
We may not be able to see Ram in everybody, but initially we try to respect. We go to days, even when we unknowingly place our legs or feet on a paper, we used to immediately touch and don't you remember? Our parents used to tell that. So similarly, we try to stretch ourselves. We may not be able to bring in the God dimension immediately, but at the same time, we try to develop. That is why, we have been asked to do everything in a proper form, in an orderly form. So when we start trying to do it, whether we bring in the God dimension or not, the effect, the result will be the same. That we are respecting everybody. Exactly, you don't have to express it like this. Because it is God's, everything is God's, whether we bring in that word or not. So we are respecting every individual and every objects. We may fail or forget immediately after when we are reminded. We immediately try to do it. We say sorry,
Yes,
immediately, spontaneously we will say sorry. Suppose we touch somebody's, our feet touch somebody, we will immediately, spontaneously go and say sorry.
Sorry, yes.
That should be kept up, that sort. That is spontaneous. That we don't want to hurt anybody.
We are not acting actually.
So we are all practicing it, but let us try to do it with that
Right.
dimension.
Yes.
സ്വാമിജി, നമ്മുടെ ഈ മെഡിറ്റേഷന് ശേഷം ചാപ്റ്റർ 10 സ്വാമിജി, ചാപ്റ്റർ 10 കെയ്വ്, പപ്പ സോളിറ്റ്യൂഡിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. ഈ സോളിറ്റ്യൂഡില് 30 ദിവസമാണ് കെയ്വില് താമസിച്ചു പറയുന്നത്.
അതെ.
അതിന് തൊട്ട് മുമ്പായിട്ട് അതിനിടയില് ഒരു പ്രത്യേക ചേഷ്ടകൾ പപ്പ കാണിക്കുകയാണ്. മുന്നിൽ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു മനുഷ്യനെ കെട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നു, രാം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്, മരത്തെ കെട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നു, പ്ലാന്റുകളെ കെട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നു. ഇതൊക്കെ ഒരു മെഡിറ്റേഷന്റെ എക്സ്ട്രീമിലേക്ക് പോയതാണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അത് രാമിന്റെ ഒരു വിശ്വദർശനം പപ്പയ്ക്ക് പ്രകടിതമായി കൊടുത്തതാണോ എന്ന് അവിടെ ക്ലിയറായി പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. അത് ആണെങ്കിൽ സ്വാമിജി അതൊന്ന് വിസ്തരിക്കാം. പിന്നെ വേറൊന്നും കൂടി ഉണ്ട് അതോടനുബന്ധിച്ച്. അതെന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാല്, ഈ പപ്പ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്ത യാത്ര തുടങ്ങുന്നത് തന്നെ ഒരു സ്പിരിച്വലി വളരെ ഉയർന്ന വ്യക്തിത്വമായിട്ടാണ്. ഇന്നർ വോയിസിനനുസരിച്ച് യാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തി. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആ ഉയർന്ന തലത്തിലെത്തിയ വ്യക്തി പോലും ഈ ഒരു വിശ്വദർശനം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു തലത്തിലേക്ക് ഉയരുന്നതിന് തൊട്ട് മുമ്പായിട്ട് ഒരു രമണ മഹർഷിയെ കണ്ടിട്ട് അനുഗ്രഹം വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നു. ആ അനുഗ്രഹം വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നത് ഒരു ഗോഡ് റിയലൈസ്ഡ് പേഴ്സൺ അനുഗ്രഹം വാങ്ങിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിലാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കൊക്കെയുള്ള ഒരു സൂചനയല്ലേ. മെഡിറ്റേഷൻ കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം പോരാ, ഒരു അനുഗ്രഹം കൂടി അവിടെ വേണമെങ്കിലേ നമുക്ക് ആ റിയൽ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത്തരം ഒരു ദർശനം നമുക്ക് ലഭ്യമാകുള്ളൂ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു സൂചന അവിടെ ഉണ്ടോ എന്നതും ഒന്ന് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യേണ്ട അറിയോ?
അറിയോ. It has been called out from chapter number 10 in the cave. So, when he was prompted from within to take to solitude and intense meditation, at the end of so many days, 30 days or so, when he came out, he couldn't contain himself. In that ecstatic feeling, he was able to see the light. He says the light, Here the light means the awareness. The awareness that is visible. Normally we see it as a tree or a rock or an individual. In his case, according to what we understand from the writings, he couldn't contain and he was in an ecstatic mood. The irresistible attraction felt by him towards was due to the perception of Ram in him. Oh Ram, thou art come, thou art come. With this thought, Ramdas had run up to him. At times he would feel driven to clasp in his arms the very trees and plants growing in the vicinity of the cave. Ram was attracting him from all directions. Oh, the mad and loving attraction of Ram. See, this is something he is sharing his experience. We will not be able to put it through our intellect. So, when we are on the process, the message is, when we are on the process, the outcome will come of its own. What is needed is, we should be on the process. And the process is very, very difficult for us. In his case, he was blessed right from the beginning. Though he was passing through the most stressful time, God revealed it to him in so many ways and then motivated him to take up this yatra. And so he was always conscious that, the sense of individuality was always conscious that he was guided by Ram at every moment. So here the intellect need not analyze. He is placing before us the outcome of the process in which he was. So the message for us, we feel it should be that let us be on the process. Because even to be on the process is a tough time for us. Because we are all in the midst of so many things. Just like, Papa says Ram was attracting him from different sides. So many objects are attracting us from different sides. So we are unable to get fixed on him. So this problem will be there. So let us all try our level best to put ourselves on the process intensely, probably for a few minutes in a day, or a day in a week, or a day in a fortnight, or a day in a month, whatever is possible. On that particular day, we will try to withdraw ourselves from all these routine commitments, routine botherations, routine duties, routine challenges, and let us try to exclusively dwell upon it in whatever way the mind agrees. It could be chanting of Ram Nam for some time. It could be reading books like In Quest of God for some time. It will be remembering the faces of the illumined souls, the highly evolved, spiritually evolved souls. And then slowly we watch let it go anywhere. We watch our mind and then slowly we will find the watching suddenly stops. Probably after a few seconds or a second, again we are back to our usual way of thinking. Again we open our eyes. Again we try the same method. So, at least a few minutes in a day, if possible, at least once in a week, once in a fortnight, once in a month, we will try to put a mini rehearsal of what Papa did. This is how, we are setting ourselves on the process. This one day in a fortnight probably, exclusively, suppose, especially retired people, if they can exclusively set apart, it might help. We need not think that we will, this will be the outcome, that will be the outcome. The outcome will come by itself. We will only plainly go and try to be on a process. We can charter our own process. It need not necessarily be on the lines of anybody's. Ultimately, one clue they give is you watch the mind. Because by watching the mind, slowly we are detaching from the mind, and then that process will definitely come to a halt. Might be for a fraction of a second, or for a second or a minute. In this way, we will try to capture what exactly Papa experienced in a miniature form. So, IQG in-depth study, if it can motivate us to start this, then we are on the process. We are on the process. We need not think that we have to go elsewhere and do it. But that one day, if possible, because of this COVID and various reasons, it may not be possible to move out as freely as we can. But still, He might facilitate us when we intensely pray. Initially in our own house, preferably in another place. Because the routine thoughts should not come back again. The mobile can be switched off. All contacts can be gently or lovingly told them, I will not be available on that particular day. Let us not make any, let us not tom-tom. But at the same time, we will watch for ourselves. How does it work? So that we know that the process will bring out the needed outcome. So we feel what is explained in chapter number 10 is he is trying to bring out this process. Number one. Number two, the darshan of a saint. Darshan of a saint really helps us in what way? We become receptive. We will not say that it is a must. It will give a boost. Because when a God realized soul, God makes us to get in touch with, and we say we feel inspired, what happens is, Papa is to explain, what is within us is being touched and kindled. There are so many people who are meeting the same saint. They may not get the same feeling. So when it is touched and kindled, what is inside us? The serenity, the calmness, the equanimity, the all-encompassing love, all these things are there in us because God is there in us. So a fusion takes place when he brings us in contact with a spiritually evolved soul. It is not that we are doing it. We should know that God is arranging for such a thing so that the fusion takes place. Papa used to say often one beautiful simile, only a dry wood would catch the fire. The fire is there. Suppose it is damp, it will not catch fire. So the fire stands for the evolved soul. And unless and until we become dry, in the sense we become receptive, the fusion will not take place. So if God wills that we should have such a darshan, we will go along with it. Otherwise, we will continue with our process. Now he has suggested this process. So initially, before we start the process, we should pray to him. From inside, you have prompted me to take this step. Please make me feel that you are with me, leading me, guiding me. If I feel I am doing it by myself, I may not be able to do more than 5 minutes. It will be difficult for me to handle. You have, through various saints, through wisdom teachings of various Mahatmas, you have made us aware that witnessing our own thought would be one of the easiest, I won't say easiest, one of the tangible, palpable means by which we can move towards him. To enable us to do that. So when this watching is going on, whenever the mind goes not in the way in which we want, immediately we can pray. Papa says where it can go only where God is. So immediately try to bring that. You are the creator, you are the sustainer, protector, you are the destroyer, you are seated in everybody. Like that we keep on reminding ourselves and somehow connecting ourselves. And rest assured that if necessary, he will take us to such Mahatmas. Not necessarily physically also. Physically, many Mahatmas may not be there now. So he will make us to get in touch with Ramana Bhagavan. We have not seen him, no? But do we feel that we have not seen him? Many would not have seen Papa. Do we feel we have not seen him? Because of our constant mental association with him, we don't feel that we miss him. So like that, when we, not necessarily that we should be going out, but he will arrange if it is necessary, and he will make us to get in touch with such a Mahatma, who may be leading a silent life. But he will definitely get, if it is needed for us. So from our side, why we mention this, Papa is emphasizing at every time that depending upon the external factors will deny us to go inward. If it has to come, let it come. It will come also. In certain cases, in Papa's own case, he did not plan. He was in Tiruvannamalai for so many days. Not that as soon as he reached Tiruvannamalai, he went to Bhagavan. The Sadhu Ram and Papa, from Tirupapurur they reached there. Here it should be stated that the Sadhuram was looking after him so tenderly, and he was a veritable foster mother to him. Again it was all Ram's work, whose ways are at once loving, mysterious. Next day the train carried both the sadhus to Tiruvannamalai. Here the Sadhuram conducted him to the house of a goldsmith, with whom he was acquainted. The goldsmith was a pious man. He pressed both the sadhus to remain in his house as guests. For some days, Ramdas occupied a closed veranda in this friend's house for his meditation and rest. In the mornings and evenings, he along with the Sadhuram would go to the huge temple of Mahadev. One day, the kind Sadhuram took him for the darshan. You see? It was actually not planned by him or initiated by him. He went there and stayed there for some days. As he was being taken every day by Sadhuram to the temple as well as for his bhiksha, one day he suggested, there is a Mahatma here, why not we go? But as soon as he saw, the fusion took place. So this is the message, We go through it intensely again and again. Then we find that if it is necessary, just like he was prompted to go to Tirupati, okay, along with the Sadhura. But he was not there. As soon as early in the morning, you will find he did not go for the darshan. So when God did not prompt him, he was not at all worried. Whereas in Jagannath Puri, the case was different. So every time we are reminded of this, that God is guiding if needed. So our job is only to somehow make ourselves on the process. We are still in the individual level. So from the individual level, we will try to put ourselves on a process, and IQG definitely assures us that when we are on the process, the outcome will come by itself. And if it is needed for us, He will give that ecstatic feeling. He will make us to get in touch with a highly spiritually evolved soul. So let us be on the process. And let us work out a practical formula for this. So far we have been hearing, We will put something during this 1 year. These are the things, the in-depth study gives us this plan with this prayer. You have now prompted us to hear this. You have to make us.
Swamiji, in IQG now, what is it IQG? IQG. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Excuse me. Because very sorry, Swamiji. Let's stop. Short.
Pranam Swamiji.
No. Yes.
Telugu Swamiji. Pranam Sama.
Pranam. Yes.
Telugu Swamiji, Mataji Amma.
Yes, ma. Please tell.
Amma, Pranam Sama. Amma, అయితే భగవద్ అన్వేషణ మాతాజీ లేవు అంటే చదవమా అన్నారని చదివానమ్మా. 12th చదివాను. 13th టైం మన ఆనందాశ్రమం భజన హాల్లో కంప్లీట్ చేశానమ్మా. ఇప్పుడు 14th రన్ అవుతుందమ్మా. అయితే ఇంకా అందులో ఎన్ని విషయాలు అంటే చదివినప్పుడల్లా ఒక కొత్త విషయం అమ్మా. ఇది నేను ఈ సెంటెన్స్ లాస్ట్ టైం మర్చిపోయినా వదిలేసానా అన్నట్టు ఎవ్రీ టైం ఒక కొత్త సెంటెన్స్ కనబడుతుందమ్మా. ఎన్నిసార్లు చదివినా కూడా కొత్త విషయాలు తెలుస్తున్నాయమ్మా. భగవద్గీత అంటే అన్నట్టు కానీ భగవద్గీత అంత మహోన్నతంగా అందులో ప్రతి చదివినప్పుడల్లా కొత్త విషయాలు అలా నాకు అనుభవం అవుతున్నాయమ్మా. ఇప్పుడు 14th టైం రన్ అవుతుంది. ఆశ్రమంలో 13 సార్లు కంప్లీట్ చేశానమ్మా మన భజన హాల్లో. మొన్న వచ్చింది ఇప్పుడు అమ్మ.
చెప్పండి.
ప్రతిసారి కొత్త విషయాలను ఎన్నిసార్లు చదివినా అన్నిసార్లు కొత్త విషయాలు కనబడుతున్నాయి. అరే నేను ఎందుకు మర్చిపోయాను, లాస్ట్ టైం మర్చిపోయానా అని అట్లా ఫీలింగ్ వస్తుందమ్మా. అంత బాగా అంత అనుభవం అవుతుందమ్మా భగవదన్వేషణ వల్ల. ప్రణామ్స్ అమ్మా.
Swamiji, she says she has gone through 13 times. 13th time she completed in our bhajan hall. Now 14th time she is going through Bhagavad Anveshana, that is in quest of God. Every time she finds something new. Every time she feels, how did I could not get this sentence? Something new is every time she is getting. That is what she says. It is more than a Bhagavad Gita, and she feels it is every time I read, I am getting something new.
Very good.
So that is her experience she is sharing.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Keep it up.
Swamiji. So, we are sitting in room, dark room. When we are sitting in dark room, it is told, he will not say, I will no need to say, nobody say, you are there. We feel that we are existing. So, that is called consciousness, Swamiji. What is that consciousness? Can you explain? Even Satsang Swamiji want to feel consciousness, whoever you want to see, you want to feel this consciousness, like that something was told. So consciousness, can you give the light, Swamiji, please? Consciousness.
You are at the moment, you know that you are talking, you know. That is consciousness. You know the knowing principle. You know you are now hearing, you know. You know that you are hearing.
Correct.
So that which makes you feel, this. That is the consciousness is, that is God expressing in the form of consciousness is always with us. That is why now we say the life force intertwined with the consciousness. That is one of the ways by which we can identify his existence, presence in us. Every moment, the consciousness illumines every thought. You become aware of a good thought. You become aware of a bad thought. You become aware of a creative thought. You become aware of a destructive thought. You become aware of a deplorable thought. You become aware of a noble thought. So what is it that? That is consciousness.
So Satsang Swamiji, consciousness consciousness.
Yes, we do know. Let's do this. Why we bother about try to understand the consciousness for ourselves. We will know the same consciousness is there in everybody. Same consciousness coming in that form. Then when we read that, we will be able to understand this language. So this consciousness is with us now here. You see that. Don't say yes. You know that you are hearing these words. How do I know? How do I know that I am hearing these words? We have to go within, you know. The individuality or a thought is trying to understand how it is illuminated by this consciousness. If we are guided by outside, we will never go within. So the only way is to stop all outside and then try to go. That is why just now we said, you know, we go and watch our thoughts. We go and sit in a place free from all commitments, free from all routines, and watch our thoughts. If we keep on watching, we may fail. The mind may take us to so many places. Doesn't matter. We develop a method by which it is brought back. And then suppose finally when it comes to settle down, probably after so many trials, so many fallings, so many failures, then the watching starts. And actually when the watching starts, it is the consciousness that is viewing. So then the thought will not be there. And what is that experience that we will not be able to explain? but we will feel. Consciousness is looking at its creation, that's all. There is no person there, there is no thought there. So what is the consciousness? It is because of the consciousness only these words are coming now. So the words cannot explain the consciousness. So consciousness is the base, is the light under which the thought or words are now coming. Only inward journey can give us some clarity.
So we should give importance to consciousness. Importance means the thought is always there, changing, but the consciousness is same, from always the same.
God will guide you, if that is the way in which you would like to go further. Nobody outside can say this should be like this. Ultimately, we will know, this is that. When Ramnam chanting is going on, then chanting is being witnessed, chanting is being known, the consciousness develops. The consciousness emerges. It is there behind the Ramnam, but when we keep on chanting Ramnam with the total concentration, with no other thoughts including in it, we will know that we are chanting. Who is knowing and who is chanting? That knowing principle is consciousness. Like that we will be able to experience ourselves.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All are silent.
Yes, silent.
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
After watching your video message on Sunday, the point that you have stressed is connected to Him. And last 2 days also you have been stressing on that point. Somehow I felt that, rather I'm feeling that is a better mantra than any other mantra. Because the moment I hear your voice, it comes in front of my face, your face comes in front of my face, saying that connected to Him. For example, before giving birth to the baby here, you are telling me connected to Him. And after that job is over, mischievously your face comes again asking me, did you connect to Him? And just now you said that visiting a Mahatma is a great thing to do. In this time of Corona, we are not able to visit. But fortunately, thanks to Corona, we are fortunate to see you every day and being guided by you every day. And for me, for the past 2 days, that connected to Him is really become mantra. So many times I am seeing your face, and so many times you are questioning me, did you connect? And I feel, I'm not connected. Yes, I have to connect. Thank you so much, Swamiji. Koti pranams for this. And I really thank Papa for giving you to us.
Because that is the cream, we want. Every time we try to connect through so many methods, Because in Papa's case, when he was 37 years old, he could take up this, or God chose him to take up this. In our case, our baggage is too much. That is why the struggle is too much. And though He is with us, He has been with us, though He is guiding us, He is protecting us, He is leading us, we are not aware of it. So now we make an attempt. By His grace, He says, you connect me with whatever you are doing. I am there. You should connect me. Then only you will enjoy it. Things will go by itself, no doubt. But if you want enjoyment, if you want a sense of fullness, if you want a sense of contentment, if you want a sense of peace, if you want a sense of bliss, you connect me to anything that you do. So, in so many ways, we can try. Very happy that this is working.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
அவரு ரினௌன்சியேஷன்ல அவர் இந்த செகண்ட் பேரால ஓ ராம் ரினௌன்சியேஷன் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அதுல அவர் தன்னை சொல்றார், thou art all in all to thy slave, thou art the whole protector in the world. Men are deluded when they declare, I do this, I do that, this is mine, that is mine. நான் சொல்லும் போது எப்பவுமே நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம் வருதுன்னு அவர் சொல்றார். அதே மாதிரி அவருக்கு கரெக்டா அந்த சந்நியாசம் எடுத்துட்டோன்னு உள்ளே இருந்து அவர் ராம் தாஸ் ராம் சொல்லிட்டு, அப்ப அந்த ஸ்ரீரங்கத்துல எப்படி அவருக்கு அந்த சாது ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும்போது முதல்ல சொல்றார் சாதுதான், என்ன சொல்ற ஏன் சாதுதான் சொன்ன, பகவானே தான் ராம் தான் எனக்கு கைடு பண்ணினாரு. தன்னை இப்பவும் ஒரு ஸ்லேவும் அவரை மாஸ்டரா வச்சுக்கிறார். அப்ப என்ன அவ சொன்னாலும் அவர் அதை ஃபாலோ பண்றாரு. அப்ப இந்த 9வது அத்தியாயத்துல எப்போ அந்த 9வது அத்தியாயத்துல எப்போ நினைச்சுக்க, அந்த வக்கீல்களோட வீட்டுல அவர் போக சொல்லுவாரு, பிச்சை இந்த வக்கீல்கள் கிட்ட போயிட்டு நீங்கள் வாழ்வா சொல்லணும். உடனே சுவாமிஜி அவருக்கு சாப்பாடு பத்தி ஞாபகம் இல்லையே, ஒண்ணு அவருக்கு அவசியம் இருக்கான்னு கூட தெரியாது. ராம் சொல்லியாச்சு, உடனே அவர் போயாச்சு, பின்ன கையில கிடைச்ச பைசாவ அந்த சாதுகிட்ட கொடுத்தாச்சு. அந்த மாதிரி உங்களை ஒரு ஸ்லேவ் மாதிரி அவர் என்ன சொன்னாலும் ஏத்துக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு மனசு, அது எப்படி வரும் சாமிஜி?
The second chapter, when he explains, that is the struggle we are all having now. We know that when we say we do this, we do that, this is mine, that is mine, because of our close association with Papa's teachings, we have now intellectually come to realize that we came with nothing and therefore nothing is mine. Though at the moment the mind arrogates, or the thought arrogates that I have done this, I have done that, somewhere in the corner of the mind says, no, you have not brought anything. The mysterious force Ram has arranged everything prior to our coming to this birth, as in the form of a sense of individuality, in the form of so many things, and he is making us to appropriate things. This is what is. எப்படி கைகாரியம் பண்ணணுங்கிறப்பட்ட ஒரு சாய்ஸ் கொடுத்துக்கிறார். To appropriate things. In that we say we have gained, we have lost. But even the field for appropriation, even the field for losing or gaining, and everything is provided by that mysterious power. So when we keep on thinking about it, then only we can slowly try to transfer this sense of agency to him. Again it will come and occupy the same post. But we keep on trying. In his case, he clearly mentioned that before the start this has come to him, and throughout another 35 chapters we will find he was holding on to it. Because God was helping him to hold on to it. Because he prays, what you were telling about that chapter, if the last of the chapter he says, what does he want?
Highness form.
That he clearly mentions. I do this. All, O Ram, is thine. All things are done by thee. Thy slaves, one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. Well, at the start, he gives us a point. It is good that this point is pointed out today. That at the start of the journey itself, spiritual journey itself, suppose we are clear about this goal, that I, as a sense of individuality, is zero, but with you, I am there as a person. Minus you, I am nothing. With you, I am something. This we have to keep on. So at the start, we have all started with the I intact, and that is why we are struggling now. So IQG now reminds us that at least from today onward, we will start this journey in a different direction. That our main prayer will be, I know intellectually that I have not brought anything. I owe everything to you in different forms. Everything. When I keep on analyzing it, I find everything I owe to you only. But somehow, due to Maya or ignorance or avidya, that is not coming in the front. And immediately the thought goes and says, who owns it? And then I have this problem. So please, I know the reality. Make me to realize that reality. I know the reality. That nothing is mine. But since I have not realized it, I am not experiencing it. So from the knowledge level, you please lift me to the experiential level. Because we are sure that all Papa's devotees are, those who have read this definitely, are thoroughly convinced that this is our goal. Handing ourselves completely to Him. So that is the goal. But we are not in a position to hold on to it. Because we have not taken it prioritized in our journey. So in our journey, we will now prioritize. Whenever it's possible, we try to bring in this. Oh, it's not mine. Whenever the mind feels that it is mine, immediately you say for vyavaharik reason, you may say so many things, but you should know that it is not yours. Yeah, vyavaharik reason, we may not be able to say this. Because Papa has withdrawn from the vyavaharik field. So in vyavaharik field, so many things will be there. But heart of heart, we don't feel that everything is His, everything is His, everything is His. So in the vyavaharik field, when He makes us to say it is ours, then we don't actually feel it is ours. He for some reasons makes us to say that, that's all. But it is not ours. We remember one incident, probably that might throw some light. We went to Vinobaji's ashram near Nagpur. You were also there at that time. Then I don't know whether you were there. And Suresh Bhai was there. Yes. We went there for the first time. So then we were staying in the outhouse. After 1 or 2 days, before we left, we asked Ranjit Bhai or somebody, there is an organization called Paramdham, So there must be somebody head. Somebody should be there as the head. So Ranjit Bhai immediately showed one mother. She is the managing trustee. Immediately she came back. I am not the managing trustee. They want me to sign in some place. Because it is an organization. So I sign, that's all. So this is how, in vyavaharik sense, we may have to occupy something like this. But heart of heart, we don't take it. That mother keeps on reminding us, how to be, Papa says, possess things, not be possessed by it. But in practical ways, we see that. We clearly see. Immediately she came and told this, I am not. That means mentally she is not. Mentally she is one among everybody. But when somebody says, because it's an organization, and nowadays there are so many statutory obligations to be fulfilled, so somebody should be there as the head to sign. Suppose they may not be having bank, and suppose there is a bank, somebody has to sign. So many forms are to be signed. Suppose some registered letter or something comes, somebody should sign. The post office needs some authorization. So like that, for vyavaharik reason, there may be so many compulsion on our part to say this I or mine. But let us not accept it inwardly. as long as, but we also feel nowadays that when we keep on thinking about it intensely, He will also free us from it in a natural way. So this is also a very important thing in our practical day-to-day life. Very important to know, to somehow keep on hammering that everything is yes. The purpose of the life, aim of our life is, we know that we owe everything to Him, but we don't experience it. We are now praying to move from the knowledge level to the experiential level.
Pray பண்ணினாதான் கிடைக்கும்.
சரியா?
ஓ சரியாச்சு சார்.
Swamiji, we told, when we should pray in original way. It's very encouraging actually. Original. Not big words. Like we talk to our mother or very close people. So it is really encouraging this thing. And it is actually latest this we have started, this gives a lot of manana. Previously it was not there, I think. Now, after hearing, mind is working on that for so many hours. So I feel this is very good. This thing, Papa has made this arrangement for our general all devotees, and you also went there and doing tapas for I think, because you were praying to Papa to give more experience. I feel like that, because this I feel generally all are involved much. They feel after hearing they want to ask something, and something is going on their mind continuously. Previously it was not there, I think, not like this. So it is God's this thing, I feel, was this thing. Carry on. Is it?
Swamiji,
Yes.
one question I wanted to ask you. You asked us to do Ram Nam in a meditative way. Ram Nam has to be done with meditation. Correct?
I couldn't follow. I couldn't hear.
Swamiji, she is telling, you asked us to do Ram Nam in a meditative manner. Yes, Padmaji.
Now, when do we do the witnessing?
You have to fix up the time and place, These are some suggestions that have just come. So witnessing. So the one suggestion that comes up now is that sometime in a day, once in a week, once in a fortnight, once in a month, you try to withdraw yourself from all activities, commitments, and then start chanting Ram Nam. And when you find from the vocal to the mental chanting, and suppose the mind does not cooperate, somehow again restart. You devise some method by which it can be restarted, by looking at the photo of a realized soul, by hearing a good bhajan, by seeing a flower, something like that. And then when the mind is slowly coming back, then when you start chanting, mentally chanting, you will start after some time that you know that you are chanting. Then who is knowing and who is chanting? That process will give you some outcome. Again, it might go in the usual way, the thought will go. Again, you bring back. This is one method. And again, along with that, you can connect up with everything. Because by this witnessing, we are trying to capture, in our heart, the experience of the presence of the consciousness, who is God. So consciously doing, you have heard that many a time. Consciously chanting, consciously talking, consciously handling any object, consciously responding. It means whole-souled, focused, concentrated. So when such things happen, the perfection always comes. We all know this. It is not a new thing. But the moment the perfection comes, when somebody pats on our back, the thought immediately takes credit of it. But actually it is the consciousness, God, who is in the form of consciousness, has helped us to attain that. So we are now trying to understand. That is why I said, somewhere in our part of corner of the mind, it is there. And we are now struggling. So when we say meditative Ramnam chanting, that will slowly help us to detach ourselves and pave the way for the emergence of this witness. And then the moment the witness consciousness emerges, Nama stops. And when again another thought comes, you have the taste of that experience has come. These are all some of the methods we have to try. Any method can be tried. What is important is connecting ourselves with it. So IQG opens up different paths by which we can try to connect ourselves with Him. That is why in every chapter when somebody points out, you can clearly see that this is the one which is main. We can take it as a move from me to we to him. Because me to him straight away, it is not possible. And somebody pointed out, when Papa touched the feet of somebody touched the feet of Papa and he did not get offended, he is also a form of Ram. That stage can come only when the me to him has taken place. So our job, our trial is now to move from me to we and then we to him. That means we try to love all, we try to keep everything in an orderly way, we try to consciously handle everything. We try to do all these things at the object level, we as a subject, sense of individuality as a subject, and the other things are object. Then later on, that process will enable us to graduate to a higher level where this me can be directly connected to him. So these are all the ways thrown open to us. We should start somewhere.
So Papa was feeling his presence, Ram's presence. He was feeling his presence. That is a result. He was seeing Ram in so everywhere. That is, for example, marketplace, college, hospital, card, so many things was giving. So that is the result, Swamiji. When we feel his presence, we will also be seeing him everywhere. No, same thing, no. So first we
will now try from me to we first. When we see a Buddha card, we will try to see the Buddha card or a train or a plane or anything, and then we will try to love it, handle everything in a loving manner, a touch of love, a touch of dedication, a touch of perfection, a touch of gratitude. All these things we will handle it at the me to we level, and then after some time, we will slowly move from me to we, him. Me to him straight away is not possible. Right from the morning, whatever we handle, we try to bring in this me to we, and then we to him.
Hariom Samji.
Hariom.
And then dialogue sort of a public papa. When we are engaged in some work, Ramna ordinary commands here. In between that, papa and another wasting it on the dialogue.
Oh, you put it whatever way you want, either when chanting or not chanting. Whenever we get a pause moment, 1 minute or 2 minutes, why we develop. The Parini, the Mari Panindrikai, in a Marakrai, Chia, please. It's like that, just like any father to son or mother to son, mother to daughter, you keep on developing that. There is no protocol, there is no officiality, there is no, only you should say this, you should not say that. We can be absolutely frank. So then, on the dialogue, that means, his presence we are nearing, First we are nearing. The moment we start dialogue means, we recognize him inside. That means, your nearness nearness will lead to Sanidhyam. Sanidhyam will slowly lead to seeing everywhere. And finally, we have been told that you will become Pandit. So, the first start is dialogue. That is, the IQG Lepata, the dialogue uphold we have been maintaining. A wonderful clue of the dialogue.
Stop it.
There are many chapters which probably we were not prompted to touch. So from tomorrow onwards, why don't you please try? Something will be there in each and every chapter. So this 1 hour we will try to definitely churn all these things. And the rest of the hours, we will try to assimilate. And then slowly put us on a process. So in this way we will try. This 1 hour we will do some churning based upon each and every chapter. We don't have to take it in the chronological order. Whatever that inspires you to take up any chapter, that we have been doing it, but there are many still chapters which are untouched. Kindly go through and then come out. Like this, so many points may be there, lying hidden. Up to 37, we have covered only a few chapters now.
Yes, sir.
So from tomorrow onwards, we request you all to kindly go through the rest of the chapters and see where what does he want you to probe into. The whole thing you may read currently, you will find one particular, just like you are now raising all these,
Yes,
and that will be beneficial for everybody. Beneficial for us also, beneficial for everybody. When you raise some points from somewhere, it definitely helps our sadhana also. We get more and more clarity. He gives us clarity through giving the answers. So from tomorrow onwards, you may also see the rest of the chapters also, please. Okay. Padmama, are you clear?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes.
At least at the intellectual level.
Yes.
Then slowly we will try. He is holding us. He is not leaving us. He won't leave. 100% he won't leave us. And he is taking us. And first of all, you keep on assuring yourself. He is keeping us, holding our hands. IQG, he will never make us to leave this IQG now. IQG is so much with us now. So, let us all pray to him to enable us to make use of it, the maximum out of it.
He can't leave us.
He can't leave us. Correct. He can't leave us.
Swamiji, we passed from UKG to first standard. We reached first standard. We passed from UKG to first standard. We reached first standard now.
Yes. Okay then. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Pranam Swami.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Swami.